Hi friends, it's Miss Allie. I'm in my classroom for another activity, and we've had some really good weather lately, some nice and warm, not too warm yet, but it's gonna get there, but it's kind of put me in a springy mood. So I'm bringing back a little bit of plant and flower activities for us to do today for nice and springy activities. So let's get going.
Okay, let's get started with our first project. We're going to be making some flowers. For this, you'll need a piece of paper. I like to start on white, but any color that you have would be great. You'll need some toilet paper rolls, several will work, as many as you've got. And then you will need some paint, whatever kind of springy colors that you want. These are the ones that I chose. And we are going to use our toilet paper rolls as our stamps. So I'm gonna keep one of them circular, but to make it fun and look like petals, I'm gonna take another one and one side, I'm gonna make a crease just on this one side to kind of give it a petal look. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a crease. So it kind of gives like a teardrop petal look like that. I'm gonna do that to a couple of them so I can use a couple different colors. And I will probably keep a couple of them circular for circle petals as well. So now that I've got those, I am set. I've got two there. And so for the center of my flower, I think the first one I'm gonna do is gonna be yellow. So I'm just gonna dip in there, make sure it's nice and covered, and then just plop it on there like that. Then I'm gonna take one of mine. The good thing about this is you can use both sides for different colors if you want. So I'm gonna make my first flower pink. So you can see I'm dipping it in here. That's my petal flower. And I'm just going to stamp. You can try a couple different times, see how long it works. Stamp, let me get a little bit more. Stamp. There we go. Now, if you don't have paint at home, you can definitely try different kinds of medium. I was thinking on my way over here that using shave cream, maybe mixed with some food coloring or liquid watercolor, might be kind of fun and interesting to try. Different things like that. Let's see here. What color do I want to do next? I think my next one I'll do over here. Keep that color. And maybe I'm gonna do a circle flower this time with circle petals. Maybe I'll do it, I'm gonna do this one purple. I'm gonna flip it over and dip it into the blue. Ooh, made a bubble. Blue, purple, blue, dip my purple again, purple, and blue. And then I'm gonna use my finger as my paintbrush, and I'm gonna give my flowers little stems. Like so. And maybe a couple leaves up here. This is the best part. I love finger painting. So you can kind of get creative. You don't need a paintbrush for this. Or you can try another paper where you just fill it up with dots. So you don't have to just stick to flowers. I think it's really fun with the flowers. But you can just do anything that you want. You can try different designs, different patterns. And then when it dries, I think it'd be really fun to take a crayon or a colored pencil to color in these petals, maybe either the same color or a different color, to kind of make designs so you can see the colored pencil right next to the dried paint. I think that would be really, really fun. Oh, and ooh, you know what I can do? I'm gonna put up here as my sun. Let's try, I'm gonna try something else. Let's see, maybe I can make some rays from my sun with the side. Oh, how fun is that? and you don't need a paintbrush at all. You can also try this with, if you just happen to have an ink pad at home for stamps, you can try stamping these in those. I think that would also be really fun. So yeah, so then we've got our springy day picture. You can use these for anything. They don't just have to be flowers, but how fun is that? I love that. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll color it in and I'll post a picture on Facebook when it is all done, and I would love to see yours. So I also have my second activity today that is our seed experiment. So for this one, I have the seed journal available on the Facebook page. You just print it out, as many pages as you think you want to keep track. And then I'm going to cut just straight down the middle, like so. And then I'm gonna put these on here, and I'm gonna make a book out of it. So it's my journal for my seed. And I put my seed journal, and there's a picture of a seed sprouting, and I put some key words to help us all out. So this word right here is seed, roots, stem, leaves, flower, plant, sun, soil, and water. Okay, and I'll explain more of this as we go. So for this experiment, what you'll need is a plastic Ziploc bag. I find the ones that don't have a lot of writing on them work best, but if they do have writing, just make sure one side is blank so you can see into the bag. So I've got my bag. I'm going to need a piece of paper towel. A napkin will work as well. And I'm going to use some pinto beans for my seeds because they sprout really well. If you have lima beans, they also sprout really well, or anything that you have at home. I honestly just went into my pantry and I have a big jar of dried beans and I grabbed these. I think I'm gonna use 4 to kind of make sure at least one of them will work for me. If you just do one, there's a good, sometimes they don't want to sprout. So I would suggest doing 2, 3, maybe 4, depending on how much room you have in your baggie. And then I have some water. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of shape this so that it fits nicely into my bag. So that'll work. I think I'm just gonna trim it just a little bit. You can fold it as much as you need to make it fit. It just needs to hang out on the very bottom of the baggie. I'm gonna cut a little bit to make sure it fits. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna put it in the water. Make sure the whole thing's covered. Now, I don't want to put it in when it's dripping wet like that, so I'm gonna get some of the water out because I don't want it dripping wet. I want it wet, but I don't want it dripping wet like that. All right, so it's nice and moist. I'm gonna open up my bag. I'm gonna put my paper towel down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to take my seeds and I'm going to let them sit against the wet paper towel. Like so. And then I'm going to seal the baggie up, and we have our experiment ready. Now, what you'll want to do from here is take this to a window that gets sun during the day, and you'll want to tape it up against the window so that the sun can come in and warm up the seeds in here, okay? And that's gonna help them sprout. And if you happen to be walking by and checking on it in the day and you notice the paper towel is dry, you'll want to add a little bit of water in there. If you know that the whole bag is starting to fill up with water on the bottom, you've got too much water and we'll want to empty it and wring it out just a little bit more. So you'll want to find a nice sunny window in your house, whichever one grown-ups say is okay, and we'll tape that up there so that we can watch it grow. And then you'll go back to your seed journal. And on your first page, you'll open it up and we have room to document or record or draw what it is that we see. So you can use this space up here for coloring, and you can use this space down here for writing whatever you want to about your seeds. So I'm going to take my brown crayon, and I have 4 seeds. So I'm gonna draw 4 seeds. Nothing's happening yet, so I don't have to draw anything else. But maybe in a couple days when I look at it, they'll be sprouting and I can add stuff to it. Sprouting means they start growing, and you'll be able to watch that in the plastic bag up against your window. So I've got 4 seeds. That's all that I'm doing. So I'm also going to take my crayon and I'm gonna write seeds. I remember that was on here, so seed. I'm gonna write seeds. Now, how many seeds did I have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe I'll write 4 seeds. So I'm recording what's happening. And then the next time I want to record something, I've still got 4 seeds. Maybe one of them is sprouting or one of them has some roots growing. I can write roots down. Anything that you want, you can draw pictures and record it as it starts to grow. And once it gets to the point where it's nice and sprouting and you see stuff growing up and down, then you can actually plant that in soil in your backyard to grow into a plant. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and put mine up against the window here and see what happens. Okay friends, I'm over here at my window, and I know that this window gets a lot of good sun in the morning and toward the afternoon. So I think I'm gonna place it right here. So, sorry, trying to do this. So I'm going to take that like so, stay, and then I'm gonna take that like so, and see how you can watch the seed as it starts to sprout, and the sun will be able to come in and warm it up and help it grow. And I'll be able to come in and check on it and write in my journal what I find out. I would love to see updates on your seeds as you go and your journal. If you could post them in the comments of our Facebook post, that would be amazing to be able to see that. All right, thank you so much and happy growing.